Grab your booze and get ready for the news. Welcome to Overnight Israel. I'm Simcha Brodsky coming to you live from JFeed Studios here in Jerusalem. It's been an eventful day across Israel, Washington, and the whole region, so let's get straight into it. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has officially become the first foreign leader to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump since the new wave of American tariffs hit the global markets. He arrived in Washington late Sunday night, taking a deliberately complicated flight to avoid countries that might enforce the ICC's arrest warrant against him. Upon landing, he was escorted to the historic Blair House for meetings with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. The top issue on Netanyahu's agenda, a 17% tariff imposed by the U.S. on Israeli exports. Netanyahu is pushing hard to negotiate, arguing that the new tariffs could severely damage Israel's economy. Today, Bibi and Trump are set to deliver a joint address from the Oval Office. The two leaders are set to discuss their strong personal and strategic partnership. Topics include economic ties, the ongoing war in Gaza, Iran's nuclear threat. Netanyahu emphasized that nearly 40% of Gaza is now under Israeli control and pushed for continued U.S. support in pressuring Qatar and Egypt to assist in hostage negotiations. Trump blamed Hamas for the conflict and reiterated his full support for Israel's military actions and policies, including restricting humanitarian aid into Gaza. Earlier today, Ynet reported that the IDF is preparing to resume entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza in the coming weeks to avoid violations of international law. Still crazy how you can simultaneously be at war and required to support the very people vowing your destruction. Call me crazy, but that's a little nuts. Shortly after, the IDF released a formal statement clarifying that it is following the orders of the political leadership and emphasized that Israel will not be providing any aid to Hamas. Security officials warned that if food, fuel, and medicine are not reintroduced soon, there could be legal and humanitarian consequences, especially for commanders operating in the field. Israeli leadership is trying their best to make sure innocent people get the aid that they need, instead of Hamas stealing it, reselling it for crazy high prices, or simply just using it for terror purposes. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich made his position very clear at the People of Israel conference. Reacting to reports that the IDF might resume aid to Gaza, Smotrich said, "Not even a grain of wheat will enter Gaza." It's not his accent, but whatever. Smotrich is all in on the war, and any aid delivered to the people of Gaza, he believes, is only hurting Israel even more. Likud party spokesman Guy Levy stated today that the government is planning to pass a long-delayed Haredi enlistment bill despite significant opposition. The law aims to regulate ultra-Orthodox enlistment in the IDF, a topic that's been hotly debated for years here in Israel. Levy said that while the army needs more manpower, the Torah world will not be sacrificed. He added that the draft law would aim to encourage broader participation from the Haredi public, while proudly preserving religious study. Recent IDF data shows that while 10,000 draft notices were issued, only 205 Haredim enlisted. Currently, around 66,000 Haredi men between 18 and 24 are eligible for service, but have not enlisted. The Orthodox Jewish crowd is very worried that the army doesn't care enough about the religious well-being of their soldiers, and believe that their service will only push them further away from religion. Amongst the Orthodox Jewish people, the belief is that both military and religious service are necessary, and without the other, Israel cannot stand. The yeshiva students opposing the draft think it's their duty to learn Torah, pray, and support the state of Israel on the spiritual front. However, not everyone agrees. In Judea and Samaria, Jewish resident leaders are demanding the closure of the Shin Jewish division following leaked recordings where a senior officer boasted about arresting radical settlers without evidence. The Yesha Council, representing the settlement authorities, issued a letter accusing the division of targeting Israeli citizens with illegitimate measures and calling for the police, not security agencies, to handle such cases. Since yesterday, even more info has come out about the head of the Shin Bet's Jewish division. Policeman Avishai Mualim refused to cooperate with the demand of the head of the Shin Bet's Jewish division to carry out false arrests of Israeli citizens. He was immediately arrested after that on suspicion of corruption, signed off by the AG. In a surprising development, Iranian-backed militias in Iraq have expressed willingness to disarm to avoid conflict with the Trump administration. According to Reuters, several major groups say that they've been warned privately that if they don't step back, they'll face direct U.S. military strikes. The groups claim that they've received a green light from Iran's Revolutionary Guard to make decisions necessary to avoid a wider war. This could be quite a significant shift in regional dynamics if it does hold up. So there you have it, folks. No, this is not everything that happened today in Israel. The right and the left are still battling it out as usual. The hostage families are upset, and of course the entire world wants to see the 59 hostages remaining in Gaza returned home safely. I personally take comfort in the fact that God runs the show and He knows what's best. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow for more of the news that actually matters straight from Jerusalem. For JFeed.com, I'm Simcha Brodsky. This has been Overnight Israel. Catch you next time.